Ready when you are.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
I think I nailed it.
I think you did. You were like, I'm never going to get it. And I was like, you're going to get it right away. You got it before we were even... You got it before I was even back here.
I've been practicing. Not really. But I'm sure some people probably thought I would do something like that. We are here. Joe has been battling some more tech issues.
Just when you solve one, another one pops up. But alas, here we are.
It's like a zit, right? It's like a zit. It's like a zit. You get rid of one.
And now in that fucking thing, I've signed out of my Apple ID on all of my devices, and somehow, and God knows if I'll ever remember my password for that. So here we are. Another problem I can handle after the show. I'm turning into a fucking boomer. I'm like, I can't handle all the technology.
Well, I started writing. I have so many damn passwords too. I started writing them down. I got to put them in a spreadsheet. Like seriously though, you got to put some shit in a spreadsheet. There's so many passwords at this point.
Put them in a spreadsheet, print out that spreadsheet, put that spreadsheet into a safe. Forget the combo to the safe.
I mean, seriously though, like shout out to my dad. If my dad didn't have all those passwords in a spreadsheet, I mean, I just like, I don't know how people go through from financial stuff to emails to obviously with us, social media, but it's just everything, the cable password. All the bullshit, just like everything, the Wi-Fi. It's just there's so much, the OnlyFans subscriptions. There's important stuff going on here. I do not have an OnlyFans, by the way. But OnlyFans, it's ventured out beyond just porn, right?
Yes, it has. I believe they're doing stand-up comedy on it now, actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you want to see a special or whatever? I think they did a big roast on that, didn't they? Like Bert Kreischer and a bunch of guys.
Yeah, I think you're right. I still use it just to sell pictures of my butthole. But yeah, that's just me.
How's that going?
Good. I'd like to do stand up on there. So just go do some different avenues. But for right now, mustache butthole. Onlyfans.com/mustache buttholes.
Which reminds me of an all-time Dirty Sports moment when Joe lost an original bet with me, and he had to go on Grindr and post his phone number.
Oh my God, remember that?
Yeah, that was when you were in New York.
What I learned about Grindr is it gives you your location to like the foot. Some guy's like, I'm upstairs. Do you want to meet up? And I was like, and we made no like rules about what I could or couldn't say. So I just said I was on Grindr looking for Eli Manning, and I was like, if you're not Eli Manning, swipe left.
That is crazy. It's like, hey, I'm in the bushes. Want to blow you? You're like, whoa, I kind of do, actually. Yeah. I'll see you shortly in those bushes.
Mouth to mouth.
To the foot.
It was like, I'm 78 feet away. I was like, are you? The call is coming from inside the house.
Hey, what's going on here? Who do I know that's on Grindr? That was an old school bet. I believe
that was the Odell Beckham game. That was the
It was
catch game.
Giants, Cowboys.
It was the game of the catch.
I think. What was that? Was that just a straight up?
Straight up,
Cowboy.
like loser of that game has to go on Grinder.
Yeah. Fun fact for all the dirtballs. I went on Grindr just for the hell of it. Met a few dudes, had some fun. Whatever. I'm a team player. I lose bets. I just wanted to do some just some experimenting for that time in my life. I was laughing the other day, a dirtball, when I was talking about, what was it, Connor Bedard looking like a twink. Somebody in the comment section was like, God, Ruther knows from experience. Like he totally was about young dudes or something, which is not the case, guys. I want an older man who can take care of me financially. That's what I'm looking for. So anyway, hot start to this show.
Hot start.
Good reminder of some old dirty sports tales, and we will delve into a lot more Saturday night in New Orleans.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm so excited for the New Orleans. It's really coming together. I know we've talked about it at length on this show, but really looks like the itinerary is pretty locked and loaded. Everybody in the Dirty Sports HQ will be arriving at some point on Friday. Me, you, Randy Ruther, Andy Lazarus, Pete Sestaro. Those are gonna be the guys holding it down in Chop Gun 2, as our house is called. And so I think Andy Ruther here might be the latest arrival. So, which is okay because you don't drink. So, the rest of us will be at Port Orleans Brewing Co. Waiting for your arrival. Friday night, dirtball registration, dirtball orientation, if you will. Benangi, are you out there? Can you get some "My name is" tags and bring a Sharpie? So we'll put everybody's @name on their thing, and then from there, a couple beers, and then off to the town Saturday morning for whoever's awake or still awake or whatever. Because, dude, it's wild. I have a feeling somebody's gonna be up Friday to Monday, and I'm here for that kind of behavior. Maybe some Cafe Du Monde coffee, and then some day drinking, and then we're gonna have to head over to the club at some point, do some tech. 4:00 live podcast, 1000th episode, Comedy House New Orleans. I know that you're listening to this show. If you're listening to the show and you're planning on coming, there's just no way that you're dumb enough not to have tickets yet. But just in case, because some dirtballs don't know their zip code. So for those dirtballs, the time is literally running out. Now I've gotten a lot of texts in the last couple days, some big purchases, some large groups are purchasing tickets for stand-up shows, the podcast. If you don't have your tickets, I want to say kill yourself, but I'm not going to say kill yourself. If you don't have tickets at this point, just go to Comedy House New Orleans and get your tickets to the live podcast and the stand-up shows. It's going to be great. 4:00 podcast, 7:00 show, 9:00 show. And then Saturday night is going to be, who knows? Who knows what kind of trouble we're going to get into. It feels like Bourbon Street. It feels like a post-show Bourbon Street. It feels like a dirty sports parade to Lafitte's for some purple drank after the podcast is in order. But we'll see. And then, of course, Sunday, there is a place. It opens. We'll get there around 10:30. Barbecuing happens at 11, even though kickoff's at noon. Central City Barbecue is the place to meet up for some barbecue right before the game. But before that, I have a feeling folks will be up and at 'em drinking early. But let's get some last-minute barbecue before we hop in to watch Tommy DeVito and the New York Giants take on Derek Carr, unfortunately, and the New Orleans Saints.
I've never hoped for an injury, but I kind of am. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
I want to see Jameis live.
I don't even want Derek Carr injured.
Yeah.
I want Derek Carr to just come out of the game and look directly into a camera and go, "You want Jameis? have fucking Jameis, and then turn him over. I have been looking. So, we don't have legal gambling here in California, Andy. You, I believe, do in Ohio. And I know a lot of the dirtballs do the legal gambling sites, the FanDuel, the Caesar Sportsbook, the DraftKings, all these things. Because I have to do all of my gambling via offshore still, I don't have access to those things here in California. Is there a dirtball that knows the gambling sites so well that can either find, or I know on some sites you can create your own prop? But can somebody find or make odds for Jameis Winston anytime pick Sunday? I know he's not starting, but there's got to be a way. And it feels like it's got to be. I mean, Derek Carr's not even on the injury report. 15-1 odds minimum. I want to bet it. Jameis is going to get in the game. Jameis is going to throw his 100th pick.
Well, I see in the YouTube comment section, I checked the anytime TD on Jameis Monday, and that was available at plus 550.
Anytime TD? Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We actually have a call about New Orleans that I've been holding on to for like 4 months. It's to bring us back to a segment we started that we did a bunch in the beginning of the season, but we haven't gone back to.
Hey, Dirty Sports. It's McKay from Houston, Texas. You can either use this for an episode, for the upcoming episode, or an episode closer to New Orleans. But I think a good overrated, underrated New Orleans food. Crawfish, beignets, alligator, shrimp. Just a couple examples. I would just really love to hear your guys' opinion. Again, you can wait till it's closer till December 16th at the House of Comedy in New Orleans, where Miller Lite will be flowing. All right, see you December 16th. Bye.
What a great little plug there.
Yes.
So, literally, McKay left this like in September, and I've just had it sitting there. You're gonna be you'll know more of the food. I've only been there once, and I was a kid, so obviously I know the foods he just suggested for overrated, underrated.
Yeah,
but
the rare properly rated. I think people know New Orleans food is amazing. I do not think it's possible. It's certainly not possible.
It's not underrated.
It's not. No, I was gonna say it's not overrated. New Orleans food is not overrated. I don't think anybody overrated. Is there anybody that doesn't like beignets and po' boys and jambalaya? And I mean, I've had alligator. I don't recall it really, but
I want to eat some gator. I don't think I've had gator.
Let's eat some gator while we're there.
I don't think I've had bad, like the New Orleans, the Cajun style food. Like I like it a lot. I'm trying to think of something I wouldn't like.
Yeah.
I'm a big shrimp guy. Like I was thinking, could shrimp be considered overrated? Probably not, because there's so much you could do with it.
Yeah. Some people just don't like shrimp, but that's like a you problem, you know? I don't think it could be I think generally everybody goes, oh, one of the best food towns, if not the best food town in the United States, right up there, you know, I would say.
Certainly in the South.
Yeah. So I'd say it's a rare properly rated.
Yeah. Like what do you eat gator with?
I mean, I know there's gator sausage. I've had gator sausage. But I don't know. Let's eat some gator while we're there.
Do we have to talk in Ed Orgeron voice the whole time we eat gator?
I think we have to talk in an Ed Orgeron voice the whole time we're in New Orleans. I just think your whole podcast gonna be two people talking like that. I can't tell who Andy Root is, who Joe Plano is.
Suck my gator dick.
Eat my gator sausage.
If you know what I mean.
Which is basically suck my gator dick.
I go to gas stations and I hold up signs, eat my gator sausage. Then women know what the hell I mean. I don't gotta spell it out for you, do I?
How you like a side of gator sausage?
I'll give you my po' boy down my pants. He ain't a po'
After
boy.
that, you can lick my chicory coffee hole.
He ain't a po' boy. He a big boy, if you know what I mean.
I feel like if we do Ed Orgeron on stage, that a local is going to be like, "You're butchering Ed Orgeron."
I love this idea in the YouTube comments from Chris. Someone needs to dress like the Cajun coach from The Water Boy all weekend. I should dress like him on stage. I don't think I have time to get overalls though. Damn, I wish I would have seen that earlier.
You got time? Amazon Prime them directly to the Chop House too. Chop Gun too. At this point, that's my move. If I'm traveling, I just Amazon Prime it to wherever I'm going.
It looks like we got a little insight for Jameis INT.
Let's go.
On betting pros, whatever that is. I don't know.
Is this comment being pulled up?
Oh no, this is anytime. Anytime. I think it's still the same thing to anytime.
Anytime TD. We need an anytime pick, guys.
Did you see? You probably didn't see it. Somebody DM'd Dirty Sports Instagram and also my personal. 2 minutes of just Jameis being an idiot.
I did see that. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
He's a fucking clown, man. And again, to bring it back to Ethan, imagine like sticking your whole life into this guy.
Let me just say one thing, and I want your honest opinion, Andy. So it seems like it's teed up for me, but I really have not embraced it as much of the rest of football fans and specifically Giants fans and my fellow Italians have. Tommy DeVito is like a fucking folk hero, especially like for New Jersey Italians at this point, which, by the way, there's a significant divide between my type of Italian and New Jersey Italian. My dad
New Jersey Italian is like
Sopranos Italians.
Okay.
Kind of. I mean, my dad would say fake Italians a little bit. They like loose, they're generations removed from Italy and they've created their own American version of Italian with the gabagool and the budbudi, like.
So what about Jersey Shore, those Italians?
That's a whole, that's the Jersey soprano Italian taken on literal steroids. But, the Tommy DeVito, that Italian, the New Jersey Italian has really grabbed the hold. And as an Italian Giants fan, it seems like something I should embrace. And listen, I'm happy for the kid. Like, it's still a great story, right? Like, lives at home with his parents, Jersey kid, went to Don Bosco, blah, 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 blah. It's still a great story. And listen, I like the hands, the hand signal. But, like, I'm not out there, getting Tommy Cutlets T-shirts or whatever. But honest question for you. Next year, you're okay, I'll present it to you this way. You're a Bengals fan now. We all know that. Jake Browning playing pretty well right now. Mm-hmm. Jake Browning, because he's playing pretty well, gets a deal, gets a contract, signs a free agent contract to go be, the backup on the Bears or to be the starter in Vegas or whatever. Jake Browning moves on. And you, as Bengals GM, you have a choice. Who is going to back up Joe Burrow next year? Tommy DeVito or Jameis Winston?
Well, look, here's my thing on DeVito. he's not really putting up big numbers.
No.
So lost in all this is like, well, how's the defense been playing, guys? Like, no,
Great.
nobody.
Yeah.
That's my point. They are playing great. Nobody's asking that question. I'd probably rather have Jameis.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a Tommy DeVito guy in this situation, but simply because, like, all right, we're talking about a backup. We're not talking about a starter. The 2 minutes of Jameis acting like a fucking idiot and just like all the like, just give me the Jeremy Lin, give me the Italian Jeremy Lin over just like honestly one of the greatest ludicrous busts in history.
Is DeVito a rookie?
Yeah. That's also a factor.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like it's gonna turn. Here's my thing on the two guys you actually just mentioned. And he's probably already had a really bad game, hasn't he, DeVito?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, that's been the most frustrating part of this as a Giants fan is Dable didn't let him throw the ball at all in a Jets game, and they also like really kept him reined in against the Raiders. I mean, they got their ass kicked by the Raiders, but the Jets is a winnable game. And then all of a sudden they're 6-7 with everybody else. But they don't let him. They've let him throw the ball 7 times in the whole game for negative yards. And now they're like, the offense works better with Tommy DeVito. And you're like, dude, we had a game that was very winnable, but you refused to let him play quarterback. And now you're like letting him off the leash and being like, it's a full hero. Like, why didn't we just let him throw the ball then?
Well, my thing on these guys, and you've seen it with Josh Dobbs, eventually, it's very rare that the backup stays playing that way. And that's why I think, like Jake Browning, nobody's talking. Like, everybody in Cincinnati just assumes they're going to beat the Vikings and they're favorites. But my point is, dude, you're going against a pretty fucking good defense.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's a home game, but at a certain point, it's the NFL, man. There's enough game film on you. People watch tape. These coordinators scheme. They're smart. Now, again, to be fair, like DeVito, I don't know if he's had those games because you're right. They weren't letting him play. Like, he hasn't had a game where it's like, shit, he had 3 turnovers. Has he? Or has he?
No. Not 3 turnovers, that's for sure.
Do you think his whole crew's down there?
Oh, I would bet they are, yeah.
Again, the parents, man.
I DM'd his agent on Instagram. I was like, come on the 1030 Sports podcast.
What's his agent's name?
It's Sean fucking Spicoli or whatever.
Amazing. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I just I don't know if I'd take Jameis. I mean, that's a tough question. Like, to me, the best backup is a guy who's not going to turn the ball over, so maybe that's stupid. I don't know. Tell you who I wouldn't take is Draymond Green.
Jesus Christ. It's unbelievable, this guy.
Dude, here's my thing on Draymond Green.
I feel like we're just going to have the same conversation we had a couple weeks ago.
You know what? You're right. It's like you're again. I use the equivalent of when you played pickup games, like, and I still again know the kid's name, who would just foul, and you're like, dude, this isn't basketball. Like, I don't know why you're flailing. I don't even know if he tried to hit him, to be honest, but you're flailing your arms in a way that just isn't a basketball move.
But this whole thing, like, I can't even believe that. I mean, I'm glad the league's over it at this point, and they're like, you're suspended indefinitely, because I can't believe Curry's, the Klay Thompsons, I can't believe Draymond himself, I can't believe anybody, like, I can't believe TV shows deal with it. This is the equivalent of O.J. Simpson being like, no, Listen, what happened is the other day, I was in my house in Florida and I was making a Twitter video. I was like, "Yo, hey, it's OJ Team OJ here on Twitter," and I was holding a knife, and then my maid, she ran into it 3 times. It's an accident. It's like, dude, you are the guy who stabs people.
Yeah.
You stab someone, now you want us to think it's like Draymond Green. How many accidental kicks to the dick, punches to the face, chokings?
True.
Like how many? This is Hannibal Lecter being like, I thought I was eating alligator. I was down in New Orleans. I thought I was eating alligator. It turned out I was sawing into a man's leg and eating a human being. You're like, dude, your name's Hannibal the Cannibal, which, by the way, is how Draymond should be taken in and out of games at this point, in a fucking Hannibal Lecter mask. Like, Draymond Green is a piece of shit. And if you're a Warriors fan out there and you have ever defended Draymond Green, like this is almost, it all goes back to, like, imagine being a Warriors fan complaining about the LeBron 3-1 comeback and being like, well, if they didn't fucking suspend dude, he's still doing it.
I know. That was 2016 finals. It's so ridiculous. Like when you watch the play, again, you just say to yourself, what are you doing?
Punching somebody in the face.
He just like, he's run his course, man. Like this type of shit. And obviously the Warriors are struggling this year. It's just time to cut bait if I'm the Warriors. What are we doing here? What is he really bringing to the table at this point?
Oh, the heart, the hustle. Clay and Steph aren't who they are without Draymond. Bullshit.
Who says that? What does that mean? What is he doing for Clay and Steph? What is he doing for them?
At this point, just making them lie in press conferences.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you actually doing on the court? How are you a positive presence for the team? How do they benefit from your play? I don't know how punching someone, kicking someone, grabbing their cock, he's like a Three Stooges character.
Yeah.
Like, like what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Fucking 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
Harry, Larry, Curly, and Draymond. Who are the characters?
Clay, Steph, and Dre. Can we make the fucking Three Stooges t-shirt with Clay, Steph, and Dre?
I mean, but that's what he is. He's a fucking Three Stooges character. And for the young dirtballs, Google, watch old Three Stooges videos. Crazy how that was a thing, by the way. Like that was comedy back then.
I can't believe we haven't already had like the Gen Z, like, the Three Stooges promoted violence, and that's why we have a violent culture. You think it's funny to hit a guy with a frying pan? That's why domestic violence happened. How many guys back in the day you think looked at their wife and like, whoop, 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 and just hit her with a frying pan? Make my fucking dinner.
I want some eggs, bitch. Yeah. I know. But like, I'm not even exaggerating. I'm saying it sarcastically. The movements on the court are like a Three Stooges character. When's the last time you made a great basketball move?
It's honestly, to me, like, I never really thought Draymond Green had like 150 IQ or anything like that. But Draymond Green, with his fucking mouth open, mouth breathing fucking idiot. At this point, to me, like, I'm betting he's got a 70 IQ. And I'm betting that because how dumb do you have to be to think the world is going to believe you? How dumb do you have to be O.J. Simpson and be like, she ran into my knife while I was holding it? Like, I was just trying to swing around, and I happened to punch. I happened to go up. I happened to reach up and back and punch somebody directly in the face.
Yeah.
How dumb do you have to be to think that the world would believe you? How mentally ill do you have to be standing outside a burnt down house with a can of gasoline and a lighter and be like, I don't know what happened here? And think that the fire department's going to be like, oh, well, I guess we better investigate. And then you just walk away. How mentally ill do you have to be to think you saying it was an accident would ever work? And the NBA was like, nah, you're fucking suspended indefinitely.
We got to watch a little bit of Three Stooges. Bro, I think you could be wrong. Because I just put this on YouTube, right? And this says season 1, episode 1, The Three Stooges. Women haters? Is that the actual name? Or is this because this is somebody's big YouTube channel? Women haters, bloopers, facts, and more. This sounds like maybe somebody, a Gen Zer, is doing exactly what you're saying.
On this episode, we're going to look at
Oh my God.
episode 1
Yeah.
of The Three Stooges. And I'm going to show you just a few facts, blooper here and there, and just a bit of information on this episode.
It's what you're talking about.
Enjoy this. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget
telling
to
you.
leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this. And without further
No, it's
ado,
actually called
Women Haters.
so as I said previously, this is the first episode of The Three Stooges. Speak about this episode was that this short was the first one
All right,
done.
I don't want your commentary, buddy.
Yeah.
Forget this.
By the way, Draymond Green is essentially black curly, right? If you look at him with the fucking shaved head and the fucking mouth breathing.
That's hilarious. Dude, I bet there's like cult people who love that shit.
Oh, for sure.
You know how like we live in this age with like insane nostalgia?
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the Abbott and Costello shit
No.
when I worked at Hotel Oceana?
No.
Bro. So the Hotel Oceana back in the day was like some apartment complex or some shit. And apparently Abbott and Costello lived there. Dude, you get these weirdos.
Who
right
lived
now,
there?
Abbott and Costello. What?
Just doing an avocado still a bit. Who?
Oh,
What
I
lived
don't
there?
I don't even know their bits.
Well, you know who's on first.
So these and they were always the same. Somebody come into the hotel, they'd be like all dorky looking, and you'd be like, "Can I help you, sir?" And they'd be like, they'd be looking at their phone like, "I think Abbott and Costello originally lived in this building. Is it fine if I walk around and kind of just see where
Do you
these
know where Costello's room was, perchance?
where these comedy legends inhabited back in the day?" And I'd be like, "What the fuck? Can you like?" I don't know. It's weird to like, you know, we use the word stand now, but to stand for something that happened in the 30s or the 20s, it's just insane to me. And they'd walk around. They all look like serial killers, for the record. I don't know. I can't. I'll be honest. It's kind of Yoshi-esque,
Yeah,
but he does it with terrorists and shit.
right. And terrorists and porn stars and serial killers
Yeah, it's like
and pedophiles.
yeah. So
Sorry to bother you, but Elaine Maxwell once ate breakfast here. Do you know which table she sat at? Who are you, sir? Get out of here.
oh, it's fucking great. So Giannis dropped 64 last night,
Yeah.
but that's not the big story. Did they ever get his basketball?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused. I just saw a brief
Bro.
thing of this story today, but like after the game, I saw a clip of a Bucks security guard getting the ball.
Bro, watch this. Watch this. Dude, it got to the point Bucks went in, like the Pacers, I think, stole the ball.
From the security guy?
Bro, watch this. What this is apparently the leaked audio. Hold on, before I kill you. Jesus. Hold on. I don't know why that's so loud. Let me adjust this. Hold on. Did that kill your ears?
No, it wasn't too bad,
Okay.
but it's very brief.
All right. Let's try this again. We don't even need the audio.
Yeah.
The Pacers are apparently, because obviously this is more visual, Pacers are saying you're not getting the ball. Don't give him the ball. Give him his fucking ball. These are Bucks players trying to go into the Pacers locker room.
Giannis.
This is Giannis talking to, I believe, somebody in the Pacers saying, go get the fucking ball.
Wants the game ball. I think the coach for the
He says it
for the
again.
Pacers maybe
I just want to
make sure he's
let
gonna
you
get
know
it.
you need to go get it. He's pissed. And then this is what Giannis said in the...
Can you confirm that you have the game ball from tonight?
I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea. I don't know. You know, I really don't know. I don't know. I have the ball, but I don't know if it's a game ball. It doesn't feel like the game ball to me. It feels like a brand new ball. Like I can tell. You know, from I played 35 minutes a day. You know, I know how the game ball felt. You know, the ball that I have, which I'll take and I'll give it to my mom for sure. But I don't know if it's actually the game balls. But it's okay. You know, life should continue. I don't even have the game ball from, which hurts me. I don't have the game ball from Game 6 in the NBA Finals. I don't have the game ball from that either. But it's just fortunate. I've never seen.
My favorite thing about this, Andy. We go from a club. It's like, give me the fucking ball. Give me the fucking ball. You're going in that locker room and you're getting that fucking ball. And he's like, hey, I don't know if I have ball. Is maybe one for ball, two this another ball, not. I don't know. I don't know if I have the ball. I have ball for my mom, but I don't know. Yo, motherfucker, give me the fucking ball, man. I think. I don't know if this is right ball. I don't know. Like, what the fuck is happening here?
I don't know, man. That's a good question. I'm
gonna come in your locker room. I'm gonna kill it. I'm going to my car. I'm gonna get my gun. I'm gonna shoot every. This ball, maybe ball. I don't know. This is ball.
Well, like I watched another video. It looked like somebody from the Bucks
Took the ball, right?
gave it to somebody on the Pacers.
Why? Is there any, has there been anything? Because I didn't know about this until this morning. Is there a reason that the Pacers didn't want to give him the ball? Was there a beef during the game? I know I heard they were blowing him out and he stayed in and scored a lot of points. Okay, cool. Isn't the NBA full of guys who just literally would get on their knees and suck the dick of the corpse of Kobe Bryant for scoring fucking 80 points in a game that doesn't matter? Weren't there players on the Utah Jazz who were like, if I lift you up and help you dunk it, can I be the guy who held you up like in Dirty Dancing and gave you your final NBA dunk? Like, I'll go full Swayze and you jump in my arms and I'll help you dunk it. And now all of a sudden people are like, you're not going to fucking score that many points on us. Oh, remember when Kobe scored 81? That's why he's my hero. That's why my kid's named Kobe and my dog is named Kobe. And that's why when I was on the Jazz, I let him spit in my mouth in his final game. The NBA is so full of absolute fucking lunatics.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking at it right now. I still think, right, today, I don't think we have an answer. I'm just kind of scrolling through news reports. Well, I don't know where the ball went. Clearly it went to the Pacers, and they didn't want to give it up. But to be fair, like, guys, like 64, the last non-guard to score this many points was David Robinson, when I think he put in 70. Right? So, like, the big man scoring this many points doesn't happen. Give him the damn ball.
And also, like, why is this even a thing? Like,
Well, I just find it
you
funny.
guys don't want the ball. Like, you only wanted the ball so that he didn't get the ball.
And you guys are so quick to exchange jerseys and fucking make out at half court.
Yeah.
But now when somebody accomplishes something, you don't want to give them a ball?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that. It's basically if you have siblings, if you've grew up with siblings, it's like just taking the ball just to be a dick to your brother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But, like, why? Because he stayed in to score a bunch of points on your fucking backups? Okay. Remember when the Utah Jazz were putting in backups and third stringers and whatever? Because, like, everybody was like, hey, can I have a couple seconds where I get to lick the sweat off Kobe Bryant's nutsack?
I think Nick D'Alessandro guarded him for a bit.
Yeah.
That
After the game, can I take you to Don's? Have a cheese stick. He's like, get away from me, you weirdo.
that exhibition of a basketball game. Surprised you remember all that during the Kobe Bryant shot challenge.
Yeah, I don't. It's all.
Was that your idea, by the way?
Well, the Kobe Bryant shot challenge?
Yeah.
The Kobe Bryant shot challenge was my idea that I threw out to dirt balls, and a bunch of people did it during the course of the season, remember? And then somebody suggested I do it for the last game, and I was like, yeah, I guess I should put my money where my mouth is.
Bro.
It was funny because my thing was just to prove a point about how much of a ball hog Kobe Bryant was. I was like, you don't think Kobe Bryant's a ball hog? Try taking a shot of booze every time Kobe Bryant takes a shot. Why I decided to do it? Well,
you know what's great about that?
That's why
night?
we're celebrating 1,000 episodes down in New Orleans, because I give and I give and I give.
I got so many DMs when that was happening.
Of like, cut him off.
Cut him off. Cut him off. Like, people, even dirtballs who hated me at the time, I forget the dirtball. He's been long gone. That Canadian older dude. He loved Lachlan, then he loved you. He hated me. Even he was like DMing me, like, "Hey man, like this isn't funny anymore." And then you and him ended up getting to a thing, and then he's what I would call a fallen dirtball.
I don't remember.
Do you know who I'm talking about? Older, glasses.
Dude, you know me. My brain is mush.
I know, but you never forget, because like then there
I
was
never forget people who fucking, you know.
No, but then you guys got into it at one point on Twitter.
I don't know. What about? Do you know?
I have no clue. You probably said something about one of his teams, obviously.
You know, I know, it's so funny. I got a cameo request the other day, and I did a birthday shout out for Sean Sparks.
Shut up.
Before there was DJ Sizzle, before there was Jay Lloyd, before there was Nick D'Alessandro, before there was Sean Sparks.
Sean Sparks? We have a Sean Sparks sighting.
Well, we have a Sean Sparks wife sighting.
He still listens?
I don't know.
OG. Sean came to the New York Mets pitch.
Yeah. Truck
and then we
driver,
never heard from him again. He was a truck driver. And I would always make the jokes like, "Hey, dude, I don't want you going 75 miles an hour with an 18-wheeler doing photoshops for me. Like,
yeah,
do it at the rest stop."
Yeah.
He made some hilarious photoshops. What was the birthday shout out?
Just his wife was like big. He's always been a big fan of yours. Can you wish him a happy birthday?
He sent me a Cream Pie Andy t-shirt.
Amazing.
Like he had a personalized shirt made that said Cream Pie Andy. Like he's OG dirtball. Next thing you're going to tell me you got a birthday shout out from Nick DiDonato.
Yeah. That kid's dead of a steroid overdose.
That was Matt Costello.
Oh.
You're mixing up you're mixing up Italian.
Mixing up my lunatic
Eagles
Philadelphia
fans.
Weirdos. Next thing you know, I'm gonna get a cameo request for Jake Bruder from his girlfriend, who's like, I don't know if he'll be able to see this. He was arrested because of the January 6th revolts. But if you could just shout out, he was a big fan.
Oh man, we almost need a where are they now? Crazy. But it's
I'd
like
love to know the crossover. This will be interesting because Let Pray No Pitch was basically the first dirtball meetup, right?
June 2014 or
June
2015.
2015. Essentially the first dirtball meetup.
Correct.
How many? What's the over under on people at both? Stanga, Mata.
Do we know that? I know Mata's coming. Do we know Stanga's coming for sure?
Stanga's coming, yeah.
I put the over under at
2.5. Or do we get a couple of people where you're like, holy shit, look who it is?
I put it like 4.5.
Wow, I like it.
It'd be a good number. I mean, that was definitely the first dirtball meetup. I mean, who was the guy from New York? The guy who took his shirt off and we were signing his tits.
Oh yeah, John Boy. What was the fucking
John Boy.
John Boy. Was he original John Boy?
He was taking selfies with my parents.
Yeah.
And my dad didn't know what it was called, and he goes, that guy just wanted me to take a snelfie with him.
Snelfie.
Sounds like a Muppets character.
It's like when Blake Snell takes a selfie. It's a snelfie.
Yeah, we've definitely come full circle. By the way, it's supposed to rain Saturday, so be prepared. I don't know if you looked.
That's great. We'll be in.
Yeah.
We'll be inside.
And we know the Miller Lights will be flowing.
Absolutely.
In New Orleans, guys. They will be flowing at the Comedy Club. They'll be flowing at the Saints game. Get yourself ready for a fun weekend, a responsible weekend, I should say, right, Dirtballs? We're going to be responsible with our Miller Lite during the game. From kickoff to the final whistle, you can't go wrong with a Miller Lite in your hand. Guys, it's only 96 calories, right? So you can have a few of them. It's not going to add up too much. It's only 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. So make it Miller time all season long. Get Miller Lite delivered right to your door. Visit MillerLite.com/dirty sports, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
I know for a fact that the Caesar Superdome is Miller Lite because I was looking at my pictures from New Orleans last time I was there. I had a gigantic tall boy of Miller Lite when I watched the last Giants Saints game there. Cannot wait to drink Miller Lights up and down the streets of New Orleans this weekend.
Well, I have an update, it looks like, from YouTube. The reason that the Pacers won the ball is that there was their rookie's first basket.
Hilarious.
That's a weak excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it's your first basket, but like Giannis has scored 64.
Yeah.
Come on. What are we talking about here? So Monday's show ended, and then we learned a few hours later that Shohei Ohtani is only getting paid $2 million a year, and that the Dodgers are going to defer $68 million a year for 10 years.
Yeah.
Absolute insanity.
Yeah, complete and total bullshit. This seems like it'll force a rule to be made. Which
well, they agree. You know, here's the thing. I mean, this is actually on the owners. They let the Players Association they allowed this one in the last collective bargaining agreement, which is pretty insane.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen the thing about taxes.
No.
So now it's a thing. California, every state wants their taxes.
Right.
So now the debate is like, how's this going to work legally? Which, they're going to want 70 million a year versus 2 million a year. So everybody's like,
I mean, theoretically, they would eventually get it. But so what happens?
But I don't know if they would, from what I've read. If he set up residence in a state like Texas or Florida, or they said just move back to Japan.
Right.
Like, you're going to collect his taxes when he's living in Japan when they're paying the 70 million or 68 million dollars.
But the other question is, more than just California, typically what happens in sports, if I'm not mistaken, is your game checks. You're paid on a per game basis. Your game checks come from whatever state you're playing in. So you actually did the work. Like when the Dodgers go to Chicago, the game checks for those games, you get taxed in Chicago.
Illinois.
And so now if he has $2 million that's just being spread out as his salary for the year, there's a lot of states that are not making money off of that, as opposed to if his game checks were for $70 million for the year.
Well, like, from, again, the rich getting richer, that's a baseball problem. And not only are they doing this, they're able to build a great team around him.
I guess what's weird about this is, like, if you're allowed to defer payments, like, why aren't you just allowed to, like, at what point does it get taken to the next level? Obviously Magic Johnson's a part owner of the Dodgers. Why even defer it? Why not just say Shohei Ohtani has agreed to a 10-year, $20 million deal? He'll also be getting $680 million to endorse Magic Johnson movie theaters. And then he just does one commercial. Come to Magic Johnson theaters, get popcorn. And they're like, we're giving him a check for $680 million to that. Like, what? Like, at what point does this just become fraud?
Well, you mean just like moving money around, basically?
Yeah.
Like you're laundering money? I mean that's the thing. Like, this is next level. It's pretty crazy that this happened, and who knows who's telling the truth. They keep saying, "Oh, this was Ohtani's idea. This was Ohtani's idea."
Right.
Maybe it was, or maybe it was his agents. It's a pretty brilliant idea. And it's smart in his case. He's like, look, I can make $2 million a year. I make so many millions off endorsements, especially in Japan. And then 10 years from now, I get 680 million.
Yeah.
Right? It's pretty insane, but I would assume they have to make a rule change.
Absolutely.
Because again, you're just benefiting a team that has traditionally spent. This all goes back to the no salary cap.
And it's ridiculous. And as I've said before, as a Mets fan, is like, suddenly, like, this is exactly what's going to happen. For years, we had to deal with the shithead poor owners. And now all these rules are, not only are they going to change the rules, they're going to change the rules when we have the richest owner in baseball, and they're going to change the rules after the Dodgers did it. They're going to be like, well, the Shohei Ohtani deal is grandfathered in place.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's smart. Like, they approved it. I like the Dodgers are smart. Ohtani's smart. Like they're smart for what they did. It's just crazy that this could happen, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That you would allow this. The league, again, it goes back to baseball not having any foresight. The league had no foresight to think, okay, if we agree to these deferred payments with no limitations, that this is eventually going to happen. That they didn't see this coming. Especially when the Bobby Bonilla thing is a thing. Ken Griffey Jr. still getting paid by the Reds. It's like they didn't see.
The difference with those is they were paying their contracts, and then you get to the end and you go, hey, why don't we just defer these out so we don't have to pay you? Right? You know what I mean? Like, we're still on the hook for the money.
Yeah.
How about you take it over 20 years and we'll pay you more? For it just to be the deal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, to me, that would immediately be my move. If I was the owner If I was Steve Cohen and we're in a bidding war for that Japanese pitcher, I'd be like, hey, we're just going to give you $500,000 a year. But also, you're the new owner of the casino that I'm building next to the stadium. You'll get 20% of that money for the rest of your life. Like, what?
Sure. I know, it's pretty crazy. We got a little late start, so you wanna hop into some
Sure. Hop
some
in some football games.
The Prano Ruther battle. I gained a point, so you're up 2 now at this
I
point.
gained a point thanks to the Vikings.
Thank you, appreciate it. We got another great game tonight. We got Chargers, Raiders, 2 5-8 teams, featuring 2 backups. So I'm excited about that. Justin Herbert is.
I don't even remember who it's Jimmy Garoppolo to start the year, right?
Yeah, Justin Herbert is out for the season.
Unreal.
What a dumpster fire for the Chargers. It's like, I bet Staley keeps his job. They're such a dumpster fire. I bet he keeps his job. It's like, well, Herbert couldn't finish the year. Like, we got to let it play out.
I said the other day, somebody who's a Chargers fan play devil's advocate for me and tell me why he hasn't been fired yet. And somebody was like, they don't want to pay 2 coaches. They don't want to whatever. Cheap owner doesn't want to pay. And it's like, you don't have to pay 2 coaches. You could just pay him and then have an interim coach. Like,
that's what the answer was.
Cheap owner doesn't want to pay a guy to not coach.
I mean, he is. The Spanos are basically, they're like West Coast Bengals, West Coast Lions. That's kind of what the Chargers are. And it's just a complete debacle. Just a mess. They are 3-point underdogs.
The Chargers are 3-point underdogs to the Raiders in Los Angeles, in
Vegas.
In Vegas. Okay.
So, I don't even know. Who's the Chargers backup?
Easton Stick.
What?
Easton Stick.
Are you serious?
Very well known for being in the hands of hockey players throughout the 90s.
Easton Stick. He went to North Dakota State. He was a 5th round pick in 2019. I mean, I just can't take the Chargers. I got to go with the Raiders.
The Raiders. No fucking doubt about it. Like, what are we talking? I don't even think Keenan Allen's playing. Now, the Raiders scored precisely 0 points in their last game.
Yeah, well, that's a problem. That's a problem. I'm still going with the Raiders.
Same.
God, these games are bad.
Andy, I hate to say it. I said it earlier in this year. Like, it used to feel like, and I don't know if this is like, I feel like this is a similar thing to what's potentially going to happen in baseball with like the Shohei Ohtani deal or whatever. We got to a point in the NFL where essentially now your salary cap is you pay your quarterback, you pay a receiver, you pay an edge rusher, then you pay somebody in your defensive backfield, and you pay a left tackle. That's your salary cap. And everybody else just fucking is on some league minimum, some league fucking, some just average old deal. And it's becoming a very top-heavy situation now on rosters where if a guy gets hurt, 2 guys get hurt, you just like, it's just suddenly it becomes an extremely bad football game. I feel like the beauty of the NFL for years was that teams are pretty good. Like, and now we're living in this. You're if you have an elite player, you're into the playoffs already. Otherwise, you're 7-6 or 6-7, or your quarterback's been hurt this year and now you have 3 wins.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's a problem. And you know, you talk about, do you have a chance at the Super Bowl? I mean, we can start going through these games. Obviously, neither of these do. Personally, I don't think anybody in the Saturday games does. Lions fans will disagree. But like that's the only team that maybe has a small chance during the Saturday games. You have Vikings Bengals at 1:00. Bengals are 3-point favorites.
In Cincinnati?
This spread has dropped, just so you know. It was like 4.5 to start.
Great.
So,
love that it's at 3. I'll take the Bengals.
So Nick Mullins is starting. Right?
Sure.
Randy Ruth.
His song Lullaby in 1999 is one of my all-time favorites.
Randy Ruther will be glued to a TV somewhere in New Orleans. This will be a noon game. So the Bengals win this, they've won 3 in a row. And they're 8-6. I believe they have to win 10 games to make the playoffs, which means they'd have to win 2 of their last 3 after that.
Here it comes.
I'm going to take the Vikings.
Yes, let's go. Why? The Vikings scored all 3 points last weekend.
Yeah, I'm just taking the Vikings. I think
in Mullins, you trust.
No, here's what I trust. I trust a low-scoring game. I trust a Vikings defense led by who's their DC? Brian Flores. I think there's going to be some havoc on Browning. I think finally he's going to have a bad game, like a really bad game. And I guess I'll trust the Vikings enough. I don't know why offensively, because I don't trust them. But I say the Vikings cover. I think it's a close game. All right, Steelers Colts, another 7-6 game. Wow. So 5 of the 6 teams playing on Saturday are 7-6. Steelers Colts. This one's in Indy. Colts are a 1.5 favorite.
Who's the quarterback for the Steelers? Mitchell Trubisky?
Correct.
I'll take the Colts.
And it sounds like the Steeler way, according to Ben Roethlisberger, I saw this week on his podcast. Ben Roethlisberger has a podcast, I think, which is hilarious. I think it's called No Means No.
Yeah.
But he was talking about like this isn't the old way.
I heard that he does extremely long podcasts too, because once he gets a guest in the room, he refuses to let them leave.
So he's all talking about like the old Steeler way of getting in people's faces, and it's like, dude, what are you even talking about? I don't know. I'm going to take the Steelers.
Okay.
I think they win. It's a risky pick, though. I got 2 risky picks. I'm taking the road dog.
I like that pick way more than I like your Vikings pick. I think your Vikings pick is terrible. I think you're going to regret it.
Okay. I probably will. All right. Broncos, another 7-6 team, travel to Detroit. Mr. Unlimited is a 4.5-point dog.
Wow. That's bigger than I thought it'd be.
It's too big for me. I'm taking the Broncos.
I'll take the Broncos, too, to keep it close. I think the Lions could win that game for sure, but that seems like a field goal game.
You know what's crazy? Like, that game that came down to the end. If the fucking if they'd beaten the Texans a couple weeks earlier, they would have been tied with Kansas City. No, they didn't because Mr. Limited threw a pick. This is why I told Jay Sizzle, because he's a Broncos fan. This is what I was like, so what's your thoughts as a Broncos fan? They start 1-5. I said, I know everyone, a lot of people wanted to dunk on Sean Payton, but I said to me that showed something that he could actually turn it around mid-season. I said, I think the future, we finally have cracks in this division. Finally, with Kansas City. I said, I already see the smirk. I'm gonna say this. If they just follow again that blueprint that he had, where you keep Mr. Unlimited limited and keep a defense, not this year. But I'm just saying you never know what can happen. Because in that division, Kansas City is obviously still Kansas City. They're gonna retool though. They're gonna try to get some guys. The Raiders are a mess. The Chargers are a mess. I'm saying the Broncos with Sean Payton. I'm not even talking about Mr. Unlimited. I think they can make some moves maybe in the future.
Can I just like to say one thing. So we obviously have a history of altercations with Lions fans and the delusional Lions fans. And last year the Lions started 1-5. They came back to just barely miss the playoffs. They beat the Packers to eliminate them at the end of the year. And I mean, Andy Ruther was the machine gunner on top of a tank in World War II. He had an unlimited. He was Mr. Unlimited when it came to memes. Hang the banner. Here's your NFC almost made the playoffs t-shirts. Then cut to the 2023 NFL preview. He's like, I'll take the Packers to win the division. Essentially, the Lions last year had this exact Broncos season. And you're like, cool story, guys. You missed the fucking playoffs. What do you want? What do you want? A trophy?
No. What I'm saying, well, first of all, it's not the same because we're talking about a coach who's won a Super Bowl versus guys talking about biting kneecaps off. What I'm saying is, in the future, I didn't say this year. We all know, but let's say the Broncos make the playoffs. They're not doing shit. And I don't think they will make the playoffs. I'm just saying, if Sean Payton can do good coaching, and he usually is a pretty good coach, he's decent, right? I just think there's openings happening in that division where before you were like, all of us were like, okay, it's Kansas City. You never know though with the Chargers, with Justin Herbert, and like that's all up in smoke now. That's all I'm saying.
What is the expiration date on that though? Like how long with the way Russ played to start the year, and I know Russ has turned around because they've limited to him and the defense has been turning up. You just said that about Tommy DeVito. Like, we're not talking about what the defense did. Like, the defense completely turned it around. The defense went from being horrific to being really good. What's the expiration date? Like, I mean, this isn't a 4-year window on the Broncos, like, continuing to build. Like,
he only has 2 more years on it. Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Correct.
But also forget not only on the contract, but just on the age. Russell Wilson hasn't been getting better as he gets older.
Yeah, I don't think Russell Wilson's. I've said this. I don't think he's the answer. What I'm saying is, I think with Sean Payton, and again, that division is up for now. If Bill Belichick goes to the Chargers, different story. Different story.
What about if anybody goes to the Chargers? What about if any Brandon Staley not? Because, let me ask you this right now. Gun to your head. Who wins the AFC West next year?
Obviously the Chiefs is where I'm going to go. Like, without hesitation. Without a doubt. By the way, did we go at Chiefs fans, by the way?
Did we go at Chiefs fans?
Yeah. I don't remember that. Somebody left a call saying we wanted them.
Okay. Let's listen to it.
Hey, boys. It's Josh from KC. I feel like I got to stand up for Chiefs fans a little bit with all this. And I'm not trying to defend what Patrick did, but I agree with Joe. I thought he was pissed that Von Miller was offside. And then we thought that he was finally getting pissed at these receivers for sucking. And then we found out that he was mad at the refs, and it all kind of not very defensible. So I don't know. But, like, come on, guys, quit calling out the Chiefs fans. We got nothing to do with it. Anybody that was a fan before 2018 isn't bitching. So, all right. Condoms are for the Eagles.
I don't remember saying about Chiefs fans.
I mean, I think maybe if anything, we were mocking just like the Chiefs fans. We did take a shot. We took shots earlier in this year at Chiefs fans, right, with the whole like nobody believes in us nonsense.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I think we did almost dust off that we were making fun of the how they were reacting to this, but I don't remember going at Chiefs fans especially hard.
Well, I'm rooting against the Chiefs for sure. Now they are going to. They're going to Gillette to play the Patriots, so it's like an easy game. It's a nice game to bounce back.
Well, when you say you're rooting against the Chiefs, what do you mean? Like you don't want them to win it all now?
Not right now.
What's that?
Yeah, not after that childish display. I don't.
So let me ask you something, because I think this is interesting, because I think we all have. It's hard to watch a football game and not be like pulling for somebody. I think you and I typically on a football game, on a football Sunday, we're kind of pulling for if we have different picks or whatever. But even sometimes I'll root for teams, even if it's going to cost me in the pick, just because I like them or not. Let's go 9. Let's go 9 teams in each conference. I'd like to know like your level of like rooting interest for the team. Like if you would say you're rooting for them or you're rooting against them or you're indifferent. From the top down in the AFC, Baltimore, you rooting for them or you're rooting against them?
4, because I want to see if Lamar can win a playoff game. It's not.
You're rooting for them to what?
To get the 1 seed. Because again, this isn't about me rooting for them to win. I want to see Lamar again be in a good position, home field advantage. What can you do?
Now, will you? Is there any rooting against them because we dug in so hard against Lamar, like in terms of a Super Bowl?
No, I'll look. I can own up when I'm wrong. I've just said he's at that point he hasn't done those things.
Yeah.
So it's more of I want to see it play out. Like let's see what you can do.
A lot of my stuff honestly comes from the fan base that we've talked about that before. Like in a way, I'm rooting for Lamar or rooting against Baltimore to continue to be right. And because like the ludicrous response by fans to just be like, he hasn't done those things. Why are we acting like he has? Miami, for or against?
Against.
Yeah. Kansas City, you're now against.
Now against.
And I'm sort of indifferent at this point because I like to root for them, but now it's hard. Jacksonville.
Indifferent.
Okay. I'd say about the same. Yeah. Not a huge. Cleveland.
4.
I'm kind of rooting for Cleveland. Yeah. Good for them. Pittsburgh. You've always kind of been a low-key Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
I have not.
You love Antonio Brown. You love Mike Tomlin. You love Roethlisberger.
I kind of want to see. I want to see what'll happen. So in a way, I would say I'd be rooting against.
I'm saying I'm pretty indifferent. For legal purposes, I'm sort of required to root for the Steelers, but I don't. I did when Kenny Pickett was playing, and now I'm like, the Colts.
Sure. Not this week though.
Yeah. Houston.
Yeah.
We're rooting for him. Weirdly, we see this is where we can admit we were wrong. We really stuck our flag in the ground about Ohio State quarterbacks, and we're like, cool, we were wrong. Fucking go get it.
Yeah.
And then Denver. You're very much rooting for them. And in a way, I guess I'm rooting against them. San Francisco, are they our like rooting favorites on this show? Are we like rooting for San Francisco?
Well, I don't know if it's rooting. It's just my thing always has been like, this is a great system. This is a great scheme, so I like to watch it. It's fun,
Yeah.
and the defense is lights out. So yeah, I guess so.
And I really don't have any issue with Niners fans per se. Cowboys, obviously, I'm rooting against them.
So when you say rooting, I want the Cowboys again to get a good seed to see them falter.
Yeah, so you're rooting against them.
I'm saying I'm rooting for them to get a good seed in the playoffs.
Okay.
Regular season.
Yeah, but you don't want them to win. You're rooting against them to win a Super Bowl.
Correct. I can never root for somebody who puts salt on his McGriddle.
Detroit, I mean, I think you have a voodoo thing set up at your house against the Lions. Like you're heavily rooting against Detroit.
No, I'm not. Even though
I'm kind of rooting for Detroit to get a good seed because I want to see them falter. Like I
would lose $100 if they won a playoff game. That's fine with me.
I'd like Detroit to lose a home playoff game.
It'd be kind of fun. True.
Tampa Bay.
I don't really give a shit. I don't.
Indifferent. Philadelphia, obviously, I'm rooting against.
I don't really care. I don't think that. I don't know. I just don't have a good feeling about them this year.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm rooting for them.
They can all fucking die. I'm so sick of your fan base. I'm so sick of the most delusional fan base in maybe the sports. Green Bay, I'm rooting for them. I'm like, it's nice when the Packers are good. Also, I wasn't rooting for them on Monday, although I kind of was because I'm still like, oh, why aren't we tanking? But just like now the whole Aaron Rodgers thing has become so fucking weird that it's like, whatever. Here's a team I feel like we're both rooting for and have been, like the Rams. We're McVay stands.
Oh, I've been rooting for them.
I'm a
for
Stafford
sure.
stan.
I'll be honest. So I in a way I'm not being consistent. I was standing hard for them against the Ravens last week.
Yeah, me too. And it was weird. It was a tough game for me because I always root for Odell to do well, but then I was rooting for the Rams because I like the Rams. And Rams also gave Odell his opportunity, and made the most of it. Super Bowl. But I've just become a Matt Stafford truther, so I'm rooting for them. Seattle, I've fallen towards indifference. Now that kind of we're a year removed from Russ, I was a huge fan last year of them proving it, and now I'm kind of like whatever. Like Seattle and their those fans still got under my skin a little bit, just with their nonsense. And I do like Pete Carroll, but he is annoying as well.
Agreed.
I've moved into indifference.
Me too. I used to always root. Now I'm indifference.
So that's fun.
Yeah. Well, let's get through these games. Bears, Browns in Cleveland. Now we're on to Sunday. Browns are 3-point favorites. I'm not sure who went first. I believe I did. So you're up.
I'll take the Browns. Feels like the Bears are finding a little something. And what is really funny to me about the Bears really finding something is the conversation that started around Justin Fields now. I love my favorite thing, and I guess I don't understand it, but my favorite thing is how the Daniel Jones contract has now become a punchline. Like I saw a joke the other day. It's like Shohei Ohtani's will be the biggest contract in sports until the Giants re-sign Daniel Jones, and weirdly, and by the way, just for a refresher, I tweeted I would kill myself if the Giants gave Daniel Jones $40 million. So I never approved of it. But at the same time, I love that we live in a world where Daniel Jones can go on the road and win a playoff game, and the Giants sticking with him is now a league-wide punchline. And yet every week the Bears and the media talks you into why Justin Fields is the quarterback of the future, even though this is the best they've ever done. 5 wins is like a marked upside compared to the rest of Justin Fields' career. He plays one good game at a time, and then that's why I'm taking the Browns this week, because the idea of Justin Fields, it's always Justin Fields is finding something. Justin Fields is the guy on the beach with a fucking metal detector, and it's always like beep 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 beep, and then he fucking digs through the sand and there's nothing there. The Justin Fields found something last week. I'm a hard betting against it.
Well, and here's the thing: the Browns' defense has not been playing well, which makes me think they will turn it around. I agree. I'm going to go with Cleveland. All right, Bucks Packers in Lambeau. Green Bay's 3.5-point favorites. I'm up first. I'm going Green Bay. Bounce back game, win and cover.
Bucks at Green Bay. I don't like the half-point hook. I'll take the Bucks. Backdoor Baker.
Texans Titans. Huge dub for the Titans. Huge dub. This one's in Nashville. Is Stroud not playing? Tennessee's a 3-point favorite.
Wow, it's a big favorite.
Stroud is listed as questionable.
All right. Then in that case, we'll take the Titans. I really don't love if this was a half point either way, that would make it go for me. If this was a 2.5-point Titans, I'd be like Titans. If this was a 3.5-point Titans, I'd be like Houston. It's 3. It's a coin flip for me. I guess I'll go Titans. Feels like they're trying to prove something here at the end of their season.
Texans are banged up, man. I'm looking at the injury report. I'm going to go Texans as well.
You're going to go Texans as well? Well, I went Titans.
No, I'm sorry, Titans. Titans as well. Yeah. All right, Jets, Dolphins. This is why they're paper tigers, what happened last week. The Dolphins are 8.5-point favorites against the Jets. I'll play a call real quick. Our boy Jose was down there at the game.
What's going on, guys? Dirtball Jose again. Just to talk about that Monday night experience. I was actually at the game watching the Dolphins blow a 14-point lead with a few minutes left in the game. Just incredible. The worst walk to the parking lot and drive home I've ever had after any sporting event, maybe that I've ever attended. And I probably shouldn't have been the driver. I should have had a few more beers in me. But man, just to quickly reassess on this team. People were saying Cowboys, Dolphins were like the mirrors of each other in both conferences. Nah. Dolphins are more like the Lions of the AFC, if anything. But, man, just a devastating blow. They just lost their starting center for the season, 20 ACL, Connor Williams. Another huge loss to a team that's already, reeling. And, suddenly that Tua comparison to Cousins starting to look a little more apt, right? After he blew it in a primetime game. Yeah, it's partially his fault, partially the offensive line. It's just been battered to hell, but it is what it is, man. They got 4 games to figure it out and try and win the division because they sure as hell ain't getting the 1 seed. I don't even know why that was even discussed at all with the Dolphins. So, yeah, have a good show, guys, and condoms are for the Dolphins unless they get their shit together. All right, boys, stay dirty. Bye.
You know what's funny? This is the fan. He just keeps laughing. Like, we've all been there as a fan of a team where you're just like.
What's funny about this game specifically, and this didn't change my opinion of the Dolphins at all, nor would them have beating the Titans, nor would them it's like he's all worked up, and it's like, let me pull out my crystal ball and tell you, is it Jose?
Yeah.
Jose, what's gonna happen? Dolphins now turn it on for the last 4 games. They look great. You're back on board, and then you get butt fucked in the playoffs.
Well,
this is what's going to happen to you. You're like, oh, let's see if they can turn it around. They're gonna.
No, well, look, look, it's a tough 4 games. You get the Jets at home, then you have the Cowboys at home, at Ravens, Bills at home. That's a tough 4 games minus the Jets.
But they're gonna win the division, right? Because they're up on the Bills by
2 games.
Yeah.
They should.
It would be great it'd be great for the Bills to come back and steal that division.
It'd be hilarious. I think this spread's 8.5. I'm up. Everybody's like, oh, Zach Wilson got AFC player of the week. This has
Zach Wilson is white Justin Fields.
8.5 is a lot, though. It's a lot against a team who can play
Where's
defense.
the game?
It's in Miami. I'll go Dolphins.
Same.
All right, Chiefs, Patriots. Chiefs are 7.5-point favorites in Foxborough.
I'll take the Chiefs.
Same. All right, New Orleans, 6-point favorites against your Giants. We'll be at the game. What is that, Section 606?
Correct. Section 606. We're going to be up in the rafters, but I love it. I've seen a lot of when I was there. I've seen a lot of Saints fans at the Superdome having fun up in the roof. Probably won't be the best view of the game, but like, what is this a game that we really need a great view of? Let me say this: I am probably the only Italian New Yorker that isn't just absolutely jacking off into my fucking mozzarella about Tommy DeVito. I'm not like on this whole fucking he's the Jeremy Lin of football, and I'm not on that this Giants team is good by any means. But how in the world are the Saints 6.5-point favorites?
I was just gonna say, I don't know why it's so much.
I don't understand it. I'll take the Giants. I don't think the Giants should win this game. I don't necessarily want the Giants to win this game, but goddamn, if there's not value there for the Giants to win this game on a money line, I don't see any world where the Saints are 6.5-point favorites over anybody, let alone a team that has been playing pretty good defense. Forget the whole DeVito thing. Forget the whole Saquon Barkley thing. Forget the whole Wan'Dale Robinson finding something thing. Like, that spread to me, I don't, if it wasn't, if it was just like if it was 7.5, I might be like, Vegas knows something I don't. But 6.5 seems like, what are we doing here? 6. What? It doesn't matter. It should be 4.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants too, for sure. It's a big spread. All right, Falcons, Panthers. Atlanta's 3-point favorites. It's in Charlotte. I mean, fuck the Panthers. I'm not done taking them. I'm taking the Falcons.
Yeah, and the Falcons feel like, even though they're now no longer currently a playoff team, it does feel like they're finding some sort of offensive personality. So I'll take the Falcons as well.
All right, Rams, Commanders in LA. Rams are 6.5-point favorites.
I'll take the Commanders.
I'll take the Rams.
I like the Rams. Rams played a nice football game last week against the Ravens, but 6.5 seems like a lot.
It is a lot, and that's a very reckless decision, and I'm going with it. Okay, Niners, Cardinals. This one's in Arizona. Niners are 12-point favorites. I'm going to take the Niners.
In Arizona?
Yeah.
12. Yeah, I think the Niners win by 46, so I'll take the Niners.
All right, Cowboys, Bills. This one is in Buffalo. The Bills are 2-point favorites.
The Bills are 2-point favorites.
Correct.
Well, I'm going to take the Bills. I wish I didn't have to go first on this one. I feel like if Andy Ruther had to go first, I feel like maybe a Cowboys pick was in order.
No, I've been taking the dude. Bills are low key my team to make the Super Bowl.
What?
Yep, you heard it.
Low key, your team to make through. They're not even in a playoff spot right now.
I know they're not.
Did you bet a Bills Super Bowl? You should bet. You should bet a Bills win AFC right now.
You know why? I don't know. I just something. You know that game. Sometimes, and you've seen it with your Giants in the past. Sometimes these teams get on a roll. They finish 11-6, 10-7. They have experience. If they're in the playoffs, they do have experience, and no one's expecting them. And I think the AFC is wide open at this point. They're low key one of my teams to make it to the Super Bowl. And I'm gonna say it right now, motherfuckers. I'm rooting for the Bills to make it to the Super Bowl.
Wow. We didn't get to them because they weren't in the top 9 before.
I know.
Andy wants a honorary 315 crew fucking initiation. Blood in, blood out, fool. You got to pour hot sauce all over your bloody hands.
Yeah. Obviously, they got to basically win the rest of their games. Maybe have time for one more hiccup.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I understand you're kind of like quote unquote low key pick. I just don't know that they've been consistent enough where I see them getting on a run that can last. I could see them, making a push, but they just don't seem consistent enough. And I would say I'm rooting for them to get in over the Dolphins. I would love to see them win the division. Although if that were to happen, both teams would likely get in. But if they did get in, which would be fun, I don't think I've got them not being able to turn the ball over for 4 straight playoff games to go all the way through to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
But you like the Joe Brady. Dorsey out, Joe Brady in. You're on board.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I just got a feeling. Gonna make a little.
That tonight's gonna be a good night.
I know, and they're gonna make a little run. I just got a feeling. All right, who we got next? Ravens, Jags, Sunday Night Football. This was in Jacksonville. The Ravens are 3.5-point favorites. Jags are just reeling right now. Do they step it up? I think they have to. I think they cover.
I think they cover too. Baltimore's escaped a lot of fucking games. I think that they're due to get caught in one of these games. I might even take Jacksonville to win this game.
It's not a bad pick. All right, Monday night, Eagles, Seahawks in Seattle. Eagles are 3.5-point favorites. You up or me?
I am up again. I'll take the half point. I'll take the Seahawks.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That half-point hook.
What do we got? 1, 2 different picks?
No, we got like 4 or 5.
Okay.
Our first 2 picks, I think, were different. Or not the first 2, but you took, I know for sure, I took the Steelers and the Vikings.
Yeah.
It's 2 different picks right there. And we'll be watching those games together in New Orleans.
Yes, we will.
Actually, some of those games will be on during the podcast and the stand-up that night.
It sounds like there's right across the street from Comedy House New Orleans, there is a bar named after the royal family of New Orleans, Archie Manning's. And so if you need a place to watch some games prior to coming into Comedy House New Orleans for the podcast, coming in to Comedy House New Orleans for the shows, go to Manning's. You might see some Dirty Sports hosts popping in and out, since it's right across the street from where we'll be doing our sound check and getting ready for the podcast.
You know what I'm looking forward to? Just like sleeping in wherever the fuck I want.
Sleeping in?
I haven't done that.
I love that.
I know it's so basic. It's like, I haven't done that.
And do whatever you want. Go to bed whenever you want. Eat whatever you want. Free. Yeah, but
I was thinking.
My only friend.
I was thinking. There's 5 of us standing in. I'm the only one. With 5 40-year-olds staying in a house, I'm the only one with a kid. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. Pizza Star was in his 50s.
Just throwing the man under the bus.
No, that's all right. He doesn't mind. He does a great joke about it, which you guys will see at the stand-up shows on Saturday night. Do you remember fucking, I think, wasn't it in New Orleans? Wasn't Girls Trip? Didn't that take place in New Orleans?
I don't know.
I think so. This is like the old man version. This is like, remember the Morgan Freeman, Jack Nicholson, like, bucket list? It's like a bunch of gray hairs in New Orleans, like, we're going to party. And then Ruth's like, I'm sleeping. I have a daughter at home. I'm here to sleep.
Oh, my God. I can't wait. And you know what makes it even better? It's like, I mean, and it's not even a cop-out. I don't drink. I mean, obviously, I'll go out, but it's like, You guys want to stay out extra late? I'm like, fuck this.
Even when Andy Ruther did drink, Andy Ruther would Irish exit places.
I was the king of Irish exits.
Although you weren't by the time we were at when you threw out the first pitch in Cincinnati, you were long sober by then. You were a couple years into sobriety.
2 years sober.
Yeah. And we were at Beer Fest. You're like, all right, see you later. Good luck getting back to my dad's house. Peace. Dirtballs will figure it out.
I went to hook up with a Tinder girl.
I know.
Just a savage move. Yeah.
I think I rode with D'Alessandro.
And then, yeah, you ended up showing back up with my parents. I can't wait to. By the way, I can't wait to see you, Will. Speaking of my parents, I think you're coming to New Orleans, reunited. Just don't drive any streetcars.
Just ride the streetcars. Yeah, I was gonna say. We're gonna get up on Sunday morning, start heading to the game. There's gonna be a horse and carriage wrapped around a tree. Like, what the fuck happened out here? You don't think? I mean, I wish when we've told the story a million times, but Andy and I driving past the car in his neighborhood that had been destroyed, Andy goes, "You don't think?" I was like, I'm pretty safe to say. I
said, "You don't think?"
And I was like, no. I mean, it's a random neighborhood in Cincinnati. That's just a car that's been burned out, like it's in Baghdad. That's just a coincidence. You don't think?
Actually,
I was like, yeah, I do think.
That's actually the best way to describe that car. It looked like it had been bombed out from like an IED in Baghdad.
And then what was funny is when we drove by the fucking
telephone pole,
and you were like, no. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe that one is a coincidence.
And then we got the DM from Jay Lloyd at Buffalo Wild Wings. We were watching football, and I was like, dude, it's all connected. The best part was I saw the car again for the first time going to church with my parents. I went to church with them, like to be, a good little boy for them. And I just remember thinking, they didn't say anything, but on the way back, because you saw the car head on the way back, they were like, what is going on here? And I remember thinking, like, they're not trying to connect a dirt ball.
This is like when when the newspaper in my hometown had a story about the Katona Flasher, a man showing his penis at the end of our road. And my mom was like, have you guys seen this? And I was like, you're a pretty smart lady. How are you not connecting the dots here? It's at the end of our road. It's at the end of our road.
That's unbelievable.
For years. We didn't tell her for years.
So it was Mikey.
No. And we're like, how do you, like, you have a son whose his signature move. Like, my brother to taking his penis out is like Jameis Winston is to throwing interceptions. Like, we were like, it's happening on our road.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
It's like the equivalent of my mom being like, hey, there's a story in the paper that somebody keeps going to the end of our road and they keep finding empty Miller Lite cans. This is a very strange story. Let's just have to investigate this.
That's
me.
Hilarious. That's hilarious. Well, guys, looking forward to seeing you. We'll be down there tomorrow, so let's all get there safely.
Yeah, and let's all get home safely, but let's all have a great time. I'm so excited. It's really, we've been pushing you guys hard to come. Share your travels. You're gonna have a Miller Lite at the airport bar. Let us know. Instagram, Twitter. You guys on the way. Like I said, there's there's a couple of sort of camp counselors, if you will. I know there's a CT's out there. He's coordinating a lot. I think there's a Twitter group chat. I haven't been on Reddit in a while, so I don't know what's going on over there. But first things first, Port Orleans Brewing Co. tomorrow night. We'll do orientation, and I'm looking forward to Dirtballs meeting you guys. I'm looking forward to you guys meeting each other, and I'm looking forward to just like having a super fun weekend. And Andy and I were just talking about what the 1000th episode is even going to look like, since it's going to air, a week plus after it's recorded. And I'm like, Andy, let's just get there. have a couple Miller Lights, and let this thing fly. Who knows? But I have a feeling Coach O might stop by.
Ooh, that'd be great. Well, guys, looking forward to seeing everybody. You guys who aren't there, you're dead to me. No, I'm kidding. Have a great weekend, and we will be back on Monday. We're actually going to record Monday's episode, I believe, Sunday night. So that will be from our Airbnb. All right, guys. We'll see you guys soon. And as always, stay dirty.